So, if people moaned about seeing a Klingon in a skirt, the internet's gonna explode when they see him in a dress.
That is an incredibly outmoded and sexist attitude. Surprised at you.
Sorry, Commander. Okay, so it looks like we're having a family-type episode.
Like the one from TNG after the first battle with the Borg?
Yeah, except the stakes were a lot higher then to justify a little break from the action.
Well, in defense of this episode, two things. One, these were cadets on their first field trip, so this was pretty traumatizing for them. And two, action? Well, yeah, there's a sprinkle of action in this show, sure, like the excellent episode that came before, but really, it's all about interpersonal relationships and dealing with emotions.
No wonder those who think they're alpha males don't like it.
Well, at least the episode starts well. Sam is still glitching and has to go get fixed. Tarima is recovering on Betazed. Mir hasn't had the nerve to speak to her since the attack, which was a little over a month ago. Everyone is preparing to go on holiday when Jaden is going with Kyle to Ibiza. Until something happens as Darim is kidnapped and Jaden, the hero that he is, forgoes having to wear a beach shirt and steps through the portal the kidnappers opened to rescue him. Lucky that portal stayed open, giving Jaden plenty of time to get to it and walk through it.
So we are gonna get some action.
Well, we'll let believe that, of course, but this is not what this episode is about. Turns out, Darim is royalty and is going to have to go through an arranged marriage earlier than planned.
Arranged marriage? Very amok time.
Except the wrinkle here is, when he does so, Darim will become king and have to leave Starfleet.
Okay, well, we know that's not gonna happen.
Well, I don't know. All these characters are fresh enough that it might just be possible it'll happen. But if he's supposed to get married sooner than he was expecting, and Jaden appearing unexpectedly as suddenly he is Ko'Zeine...
That's the name of the episode!
Which means his best man. My point is, why didn't he already have a best man if protocol is so important? Bit convenient for the story, eh?
Just like it was convenient for Jet Reno to walk into the lab where Mir and Genesis were secretly freezing warp slugs and not notice anything. It was supposed to be funny.
It really wasn't.
What's a warp slug anyway?
It's a MacGuffin that proves Star Trek is no longer sci-fi, but is firmly fantasy now.
So Genesis is freaking out because she's been recommended to take up the command track.
Which is what she's always wanted.
Well, except now, she's freaking out. Weird. Well, she wonders if she really earned it, or if she's just reaching these heights because her dad himself is an admiral.
Nepotism?
Not so much. More like genetic nepotism. Plus, there's the fact she tampered with her recommendation letters. Very Kobayashi Maru.
Not even close.
To be honest, this episode is very light with hardly any substance. There are also inconsistencies with the writing. For instance, Jaden steps through the portal, right? But when he reaches the other side, the portal is closed but opens up for him, and Darren and the kidnappers have already gone. He wasn't that far behind them, so why would the portal close after the kidnappers but reopen for him when it stayed open when the kidnappers walked through it, giving Jaden time to walk through it himself?
I'd blame the FX people for that one. Okay, well, what about the time where Genesis lures Mir to play toxic, non-toxic, which they do in the next scene, except we learn that they did a different game beforehand. Now, why leave with the intention of doing one game, only to do a different game, which we don't even see prior to doing the one that she convinced him to do in the first place? Weird stuff like this should have been fixed before reaching the shooting stage. Exactly. But for me, the worst part of the episode is how the writers got Darim out of the wedding, because of course they had to. Rather than make the decision come from him, they made him so weak by having his now wife realize he was doing this all out of duty, and even though he really loved her, his path laid elsewhere, and she released him from his royal duties. Despite saying before that rooting the planet was a two-person job, and now she's fine ruling on her own. Yep, the guest star is the badass, and the renegade character is the damp, weak, dare I say, coward. Very unsatisfying.
Which is a shame, as Darren's character improved over the episodes, growing from an arrogant, unlikable bully to become a person that you could root for. But they totally destroyed that with a single speech. Yikes.
So now he's gonna get on with Jaden, right? I mean, come on, that's been strongly signposted for a few episodes already.
But what about Kyle?
Kyle's gonna start acting like a clingy bitch, that's why.
Which he actually does by the end.
So predictable.
To be honest, this episode felt weak, especially after such a high from the previous one. If there's anything redeemable about it, it's the little morality plays that are peppered throughout, which are clearly aimed at the demographic the show's reaching out to, And Mir finally being able to send a message to Tarima and reveal himself more to her was truly the highlight of the show. But it definitely wasn't enough to save the episode. I'm awarding Ko'Zeine 1.5 paws. But tell me, what do you think of this episode? Do share your thoughts in the comments, and if you like what we do,
and how we do it, and you feel you'd like to help us out,
please hit the join button and become a channel member.
or consider joining our Patreon instead.
We'll leave a link to it down in the description. Thanks for watching. See you all next time, and until then, live long
and the spice must flow.
Tarima is recovering on Beta Z. Mir hasn't had the nerve to speak to her since the attack, which was a little over a month ago. Everyone prepares to go on holiday, and Jaden is going to Kyle. So close.